change uncomfortable moments. May few strange when things looked over the efficiency and renovations of my life is very efficient and once passing a car lighting board hung over a chair down the shape of an unknown beast. Street life or passing can help me because hung over a take on the shape of another beast out of the corner mostly dark always made me helpless by hurt wood bound and I with tired legs and monsters darkness always made we fell helpless my cat would and I would lie very still so that the enemies would disturb me another child fear of mine was I would get lost escapely on my way animations and be taken some unfortunately naval I would traveling that I would get on the wrong one and be taken to some uncasual neighbors I would try to mentions of my events and wrong one had been taken to unfamiliar neighbors I had scanned the bus for the faces of my friends make so that the bus driver was the same one that been there in the morning and even then asked the overtures on my questions and would not like me because I was too fat of loose waist. I tried to wear the right clothes and had intestines ornaments with my mother over the importance of I tried to wear the right clothes and had intense agreements with my mother over the importance of I tried to wear the right clothes and I had intense arguments with my mother over the importance I tried to wear the right clothes and have instant agreement with my mother. Being popular was very important to me then. The wearing flats instead of shedding shoes to schools. Being popular was very important to me then. Wearing flats instead of sandal shoes to school. Being popular was very important to me then and wearing flats are very stations and powerful one of the process of rebuilding from child to an adult fear of not being instant shoes to schools being popular was very important to me then wearing flats instant size shoes to school being popular was very important to me then the wearing flats instead of shaded shoes and being read the passage one blow generally happy and can recall experience some of the most carefree times of my life but I can also remember even more vividly moments of deeply carefree time of my life as a child I have truly terrified of the dark and getting lost their features I have caused me some extremely uncomfortable moments, maybe another's and shouted in my familiar room at night. Me too much there was neverly totally darkness sound in my familiar room at night that scared me so much there was never total darkness but street light or passing car lighting made clothes hung over a chair take on the shape of an unknown beast. Street light over the stations passing light made clothes hung a chair take on the shape of an another beast. Out of the corner of my eye I saw certain move then were no There's a tiny crack in floor out of the corner of my eyes is very after school when all the buses were lined up along the curve. I was home. That was a no problem after school when all buses I got on the school right near the close residence, my home warm school. Every morning I got on the school bus right near home. Near home I would get on the room and I be taken to smaller mansions, and I did not let the leaders of my divisions and or the wrong were be taken to. First of all, I was quite sane. Secondly, I want to silence should go anywhere. I was sure I want to not get lost. Prepare on the worst fears. I had a child. I would go only where I have sure I would never get lost. Perhaps one of the worst fears I had as a child. I would go only there I has sure the I would never get lost. Perhaps one of the worst fears I had a child was that of the not being liked or accepted by others. First of all, I was quite shy. Secondly, I worried constantly about my looks. Things people would not thinking of my calculations. Being popular was very important to me and still like a powerful one. And second was a calculations parliament of the innovations, and she was completely the complete following sentence according the passage, and only I was sure never get lost. Perhaps one of the worst, and I was constantly about my looks, thinking people were acquired to my ownership based on the understanding of my pages. Answer the question that follow. One of the sick of your reading of pages, make notes using headlines, and some headlines use responsibility calculations where necessary. Also a suitable title. I would go to assure your animations and would get lost here page. One of the worst peoples I had suits. I tried to wear the right clothes are very in case. I remember that any childhood has least generally happy and can recall experience come of the careful times of my life, but I can also remember one vividly moments of deeply flattened and as was truly trafficked of dark and getting lost their feet and very caused me extremely uncomfortable moments. May be it strange way caused me some extremely uncomfortable moments. Maybe it was strange way high ambitions of one of school as far as calculations of my Dubikins. I would get on the wrong one and he was taken to some unfamiliar neighborhood. I scanned the bus from the discriminations. I have very important make sure that information on my school on the relations according to the passage. No man was many longer a self movements to make Manshui and childhood the we said it shoes to school. Being popular was very important to innovations, and we helped the neighbors extremely, and she was very carefully. Here are many states and many compliments are very situated in your education ought to teach us how to be love always and what we happy with the great things of history have been done by change of things and important languages are very important sectors, and unless man desires to sense men of science on artist, and if you deserve that constantly, unless mere thoughts with means to be these things we think we of man science of my admirations. I very I'm a compilation believe now then arts has added away from our which we all out of exercise. It is commonplace believing now that our have advice away out of which we all of candles and pebbles are means. Very young babies are scared by human voice, are treating complimenting world close to them. How a strangely emotional response provide early of your advance that feeling is not important comparatively a space of enjoyment and joyful connecting which sets the pattern of the relationship between two peoples. Thus people long before they can speak children can include in two ways process of communication which is gradually building a foundation on which they later use of languages. They are increasingly building structures in their minds into the which their speech and read will later of gaming and structure is their minds in which their speech and reading will later with grammatical contractions then service and so on. The formation of these structures will depend on the complementation tense equations and so on. The work of these structures will depend on simultaneously mouth. The small village of Tabur contains 16 temples built around 126 by the Holination of Karnataka. One of the most important temples built believers and are among their better known works. While there are surplusings of your emulation temples, how to arrange the emulations, the small peoples were amazing structure. I tried to create different images. The images of temples were pretty amazing and including the doors of the temples and the instant English towers. It is Sunday today. I go to office and amazing smoking must could be pages make notes on this. The headlines and sub headlines were combinations of your always structure. The small of the celebrations near the small temples created the duty and